Salutations, utopians. Hope all is well in your world. I want to talk a little bit. Let's get right to it. The Davante Adams sweepstakes. As you all know, Davante has been a phenomenal player in the NFL and is considered and deemed to be one of the top 10 wide receivers of this time. Um, Watched yesterday Matt Flynn on Amazon Prime's game versus Falcons versus Buccaneers, and seeing the Matt Ryan highlights, you really understand. You really watching Mike Evans, seeing him catch his 100 touchdown, um, all-time scoring leader of Buccaneers history. Watching, uh, Matt Flynn get that award, that award or that recognition and going into the Falcons Ring of Honor, seventh all-time in regular season passing, ninth in touchdown totals. And you think about Julio Jones and the power of a wide receiver who can stretch the field, and Davante Adams is in that echelon. Obviously, Mike Evans, Julio Jones, that type of royalty. Despite now being on his second team, his most credited work is from his Green Bay days when he ran with Aaron Rodgers. Hence why everyone is, well, not everyone, but there's a good demographic of people who are pushing for a reunion with the Jets. I don't necessarily see that as plausible. They have a coordinator. Now, don't get me wrong, he doesn't have a no trade clause, but we've seen Davante when he's not happy, and he's not one of those guys who cares to be the classy locker room dude. Like, he's going to go out there and do what he can, but let's just say I don't think Antonio Pierce believed that Davante Adams wasn't one of those guys who wasn't giving his all. And talking about making a business decision. I think he was the textbook example of someone who was making a business decision in that loss to Carolina. And let me be clear, Carolina, they ran into a team that was being criminally held back by an inept quarterback, by Bryce Young, who is not an NFL quarterback. Let's be serious. He's not a quarterback. He's not a guy who you just go put him away for a couple years with a brilliant mind. No, that's not this. That's not this. Okay? He's not him. He's not a quarterback in the NFL. I'm sorry. I'm willing to put my name on it if I'm wrong. Whatever, clown me. I don't care. To the limited demographic that I got watching this audience. But Davante has been rumored. Originally, my thought process was like, oh, Baltimore just feels right. They're tired of Lamar going into the playoffs with inept help. Roman, the GM, I think it was Roman, somebody from very influential, I think the GM during the contract negotiations for Lamar admitted that they knew he was not given the proper weapons to really, be a threat in the playoffs, and it's not fair how he's being judged. I stand with those comments and belief system. You can't tell me that Lamar Jackson is not a good quarterback or he's a fraud because of his playoff shortcomings. From Hollywood Brown to Mark Andrews, who when healthy is elite, but unfortunately I think the time has run out on him. Likely is now the TE1 for the Ravens. Zay Flowers is good. I don't understand why they don't game plan for him more. There were times on Sunday night that Nelson Aguilar was getting more face time than he was. It's kind of crazy to me. It just, for some reason, they do not want to give him the ball the way he needs to. That's one area where Harbaugh and his constituents are dropping the ball. Then you look over to Kansas City, and I just don't think they're willing to spend that type of resources to acquire Davante Adams. Some people this week rumored that they would go after Tyreek Hill. Listen, and this is not me holding on to one of my free agent big boards because I do have a vested interest in seeing this Tyler Huntley thing see it through. But I will say that the Dolphins are not. It would not be wise to break up that receiving core just because right now you're in a crisis at QB. I don't know what that nonsense was on Thursday. Was it last week or was it Monday night? Monday night, where you know, their coach McDonald, he was throwing from sideline to sideline instead of trying to go vertical. Like my thing is, I understand you don't want to. Huntley's been to a Pro Bowl. He's 26 years old. He's backed up Lamar for many years. He's seen it from the sidelines. You're not going to break his self-esteem. You have to go down swinging. I don't know what the hell was that weak shit they were doing from sideline to sidelines. That was some bull jive. I don't know why they were doing that nonsense, but that Tyler Huntley can do so much more, and I think he needs to be unapologetically himself, and that means in the interim, in the meantime, between time, if need be, run the damn ball, tuck the ball, and just take off if you're Huntley. Stop trying to, I don't know what the hell's going on. They had the first play, like they threw a lateral, and the running back was behind Huntley, and so it was deemed a fumble. Like, what the F is going on over there in Miami? Like, scared shitless. Throw the damn ball, man. Like, you know what I mean? You paying all this money to Waddle, and you got a track team over there, and you over here throwing sideline to sideline. Come on now, it don't get more coward than that. They were playing like how their coach looks, like a dork. You know what I mean? Would go out there and do like, come on, man, we're men. Go out there, make mistakes, and whatever happens, happens. So that leaves me to my running conspiracy theory now. Today on social media, Davante Adams posted a picture of Edgar Allan Poe, and I took the liberty of looking up. My first gut reaction, first instinct was to look up where's Poe from, and he's from Boston, Massachusetts. So I said, okay, let me go look up New England Patriots. They got just north of 57 million in cap space. I'm watching Jacoby Brissett last week, and he had one turnover near the end of the game where you're just looking at him and it's like, bro, the one thing you couldn't do, you did it anyways. You turned the ball over. They were in the red zone. Everything was going wrong, and you can just sense it. It's not out of hatred, but just the line is not blocking for him anymore. And similar to Deshaun Watson in Cleveland, and you're watching it and you're just like, bro, something's got to change. They're not responding anymore. And don't get me wrong, they went up against a formidable opponent, but I'm watching him even in certain situations, the way he's carrying the ball. He's got the ball up here in his shoulder while he's getting hit. Ball could have easily got jarred loose, and then he eventually did turn the ball over, and that's when May went in there. First play got clobbered, scrambling out of the pocket, trying to escape the blitz. Don't get me wrong, the line is, wasn't that much better with May, but they're in a place now, and I suspected this. I got a tweet where I'm like, by week 5 or so, they're not going to have no one to throw the ball to, and I'm watching this unravel, and I'm thinking to myself, he just 2 days ago made a comment about, Gerard Mayo, African-American coach in the Boston market, the significance and how it's even more meaningful than, let's say, his current coach in Vegas right now, Antonio Pierce, like, because of, the history with Boston, and talking about how significant it is to have him there. And obviously Mayo paid his dues. He also is well versed in economics, took a job with a Fortune 500 company, made it all the way to CEO in record time. So that's why, another reason why the Patriots have so much cap space. Jalen Polk, who was drafted in the 2nd round, I think he's from LSU. He definitely is very promising. I find myself always once a week so far having some kind of highlight or some type of like, okay, that's a great play type situation from where he flashes on the screen, so to speak, flashes on the screen. And so, but I don't think he's quite ready to pressure him, anoint him as a WR1, quality WR2 though. If you're going to roll out Drake May, you need to make sure you have a safety blanket. I don't quite know outside of Polk, and I don't know if Polk is quite ready to go shoulder to shoulder, stride for stride with May. I think May showed a lot of promise. I think he definitely belongs. He threw a lot of football passes at college, and up there with Bo Nix, and so it's not like he's a stranger to quarterback play. This isn't a McCartney thing where he didn't throw the ball a lot, game manager. No, the guy has carried an offense on his back in college, and he knows, and he's a big guy, big quarterback, the kind of, on paper. And so, I think it could be a Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen type of dynamic where quarterback looks average, you go and get him a real threat, a guy who commands attention, and next thing you know, things take off. The Patriots go from an okay off to a struggling offense to a respectable. You got a WR1, a WR2, run game. Ramondre Stevens got benched. However, easily things can change the spirit of the team. Everything can just change quickly. And so I'm going to go and put my name on it and say that I think Davante Adams, all guesstimate, I'm not a source, but my educated guesstimate is, and I think best landing destination is going to be Davante Adams to the New England Patriots. I'll try to do better next time. Utopians Global out.